What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are diving into the Open Great League, and it's time to bring out the meta. We are in, I believe, what might be one of the final weeks of Great League. I know we got all leagues coming back in a little bit, but this is like one of the last times you guys can begin to push. Now, these set of battles are done around the high 2700s, and it is going to be a team of Defense Form Deoxys, Umbreon, and Dewgong. Now, I love the core of Defense Form Deoxys and Umbreon. They just have great synergies together. If you guys don't have Defense Form Deoxys, Medicham could fit into there as well. And I have Dewgong as the safe swap here for a lot of reasons. Firstly, it got Drill Run this season, right? And it also has great coverage against steals. It does well against flyers. And ultimately, the Ice Shard and Icy Wind is a great setup to come back in and farm down. And it also does pretty well against Trevenant if they decide to stay in, and you see it on the lead, right? Ice Shard and Icy Wind. So let me know what you guys think about this team. We have one full set of battles right here. Let's get into it. Alright, getting in the first battle, we have Defense Form Deoxys versus Dunsparce here on the lead. So, very positive lead, but whenever I'm facing off against teams, and there's the Trevenant, and you see their first Pokemon, you need to begin calculating what they could have in the back. What would be a good core? With a normal type Pokemon in the lead, something countering fighting type Pokemon would make a lot of sense, and they do have a Trevenant safe swap, which is perfectly fine with me because Umbreon can lock this down. Now, I know in most of my videos throughout the season, I bring spicy and fun and unique teams, but it's like, it's time to get down to the meta, and this is a meta team. Very, very strong. We're going to go ahead and let these seed bombs go through. We're going to commit to the full farm down. That way we have a lot of energy on the back end here for Dunsparce. Now, Dunsparce is somewhat bulky, but it can't farm down the Umbreon. It's going to have to throw a charge move, and if it doesn't and it tries to commit to the farm down, we're going to be able to get like 4 or 5 foul plays off. Here's 2 foul plays already, and I don't really care about energy on Dunsparce here because it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to land on Dewgong, which is why they're having to throw against Umbreon here, because I don't even think this is going to be enough to KO as the Drill Run. Yeah, it's not enough to KO. Umbreon is extremely tanky. Now, I do have good PvP IVs besides my Defense Form Deoxys. Obviously, that's a tough one to get good IVs on. It was actually my first Defense Form Deoxys I ever caught, but we're going to go ahead and bring in DD, and we're going to no shield right here. There's no reason to be shielding. We still don't know what is in the back, and we have to anticipate that there is a potential Medicham. So, I have Thunderbolt and Psycho Boost as the charge moves. You guys could go with Rock Slide and Thunderbolt if you want to, but I found the Psycho Boost to be very crucial in a lot of matchups. The reason why you might want Rock Slide is to help out maybe against a Charizard, or to maybe help out against like a Alolan Ninetales or Frostlass if you guys are seeing those. But Psycho Boost, I saw way more Medichams to make Psycho Boost a lot more useful for me. Now, I decided to give up 1 shield there. I'm going to go ahead and go for Psycho Boost here first. Because I'm going to be swapping out into Dewgong now, and I banked a Psycho Boost there as well. Now, Dewgong here in this matchup doesn't do too bad. I know it's a fighter versus an ice, but Dewgong is extremely tanky. We're going to go ahead and shield the Psychic right there. It could have been... They make a great swap. I don't know how. I believe I might have been a delayed there on the Icy Wind. So they make a great swap, but ultimately they only have Psychic and Ice Punch, which means they're not going to be able to take us down, and Dewgong here is going to be able to take out the Medicham. Just because it loses to fighting type Pokemon doesn't mean it'll actually lose in some situations. You have to leverage the strength of your Pokemon, and as you can see, Dewgong closes it out perfectly right there for us. Good game. Now, this is a full set right here. Usually I take the best battles throughout my day and kind of put it all together for you guys to showcase the good wins, the tough, close losses. This is just a straight set because I just want to show you, I'm the 26 40s. So let's see how this goes. We got Defense Form Deoxys now versus Sableye. So, tough lead right here, obviously. We're going to go ahead and go into Dewgong. It is a beautiful safe swap in these situations, and they bring in a Registeel. Now, this is going to make you want, if you guys do not have a Dewgong, this next 1 minute is going to make you double Elite TM your best PvP IV Dewgong, because this is a Registeel, right? Registeel used to always dominate Dewgong. It has Zap Cannon, it has Focus Blast, but Dewgong right here does not care. Drill Run does super effective damage, and they typically don't shield until the end, which means we land our 2 free drill runs, and now we can go for Icy Winds. This is what is so beautiful, and why I say Dewgong is meta is because Icy Wind debuffs dramatically lower the opponent's attack, right? Which in turn raises your own defense. And because we safe swapped our Dewgong, we get to 2 Icy Winds before Registeel can get to the 3rd charge move. We get the final shield, and now the charge move. Battlers, come on. It won't KO. Dewgong is going to farm down this Registeel and have a charge move ready to go. Dewgong just straight up beat the Registeel right there, and we have an Icy Wind for Sableye in the back. I am telling you guys, I told you guys at the beginning of the season, Dewgong is meta. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in Defense Form Deoxys here into the Lantern. Obviously, if they didn't swap out to clear the debuff, I would have just come in with Umbreon into Sableye, and now Defense Form Deoxys into Lantern. And this is going to be a good game. There is really nothing they can do now. We are both have no shields, and I have switch alignment because of the Umbreon to Sableye matchup is so much more favorable. Now I'm going to go ahead and go for a Psycho Boost early. I felt like they were going to try to go for the Thunderbolt, and I'm going to pressure them to throw right here, which is fine. If this is Thunderbolt, it KOs. If it's Surf, it doesn't, but we should be able to. It is going to be Surf, so they didn't KO. I'm going to go ahead and swap right away into the Umbreon, and they surrender, so that is going to be a good game, very well played. Yeah, Dewgong, everyone. I know most of you, based on the time, you guys probably stuck around to see that, the majority of you guys. I'm telling you guys, Dewgong is something fierce, and I believe mine is a rank 6, if I remember correctly. I caught this years ago. And it was good back in the day with Ice Shard, Icy Wind, and it used to have Water Pulse, but Drill Run. Oh, it is so good. Especially when you pair it with teams such as this, a very bulky team. All right, we got Shadow, Alolan, Sandslash on a lead. This is a very popular team that I saw that consists of Shadow, Alolan, Sandslash, Medicham, and Azumarill. Now, I'm not sure who made the original team, but I have seen it all over Twitter, and I've faced off against it a lot. And this team, in order to win, you have to kind of do an interesting dance where you need to keep Defense Form Deoxys alive, but you also have to get the Umbreon into the matchup against Medicham because there is an Azumarill in the back. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Psycho Boost now, and now we can come in with Umbreon. Once again, just because it's fighting versus dark does not mean you can't win this matchup. If they have, or they only can do Ice Punches right here. If they have Dynamic Punch, it's a different story, but still it wouldn't KO. But now we're in a situation where we can safely go for foul plays because it's neutral damage here against the Medicham, right? The Psychic fighting typing. And Umbreon is tanky enough where I might just be able to Snarl down. And I'm going to go ahead and go for the full Snarl down and look to not give up a shield as well. This is a bold call, but I think I can do it. So we do just Snarl down. This is why you got to trust in your Pokemon and PvP IVs. They matter when they matter and they don't when they don't. I tell you what. Foul play now going to be coming through against the Sandslash, doing a nice amount of chip damage. We're going to wait out the switch clock and then come in with Defense Form Deoxys, and I'm fully expecting an Azumarill in the back, but I actually come in with Dewgong, and then I swap out. I kind of messed that up right there. I was anticipating them swapping right away, so I wanted to get ahead on energy. But ultimately, I think what I should have done is thrown a Icy Wind, and then just tank a charge move, then bail, and then come in with Defense Form Deoxys. But either way, we're going to be winning this game because we do have Thunderbolt, and we do have Drill Run on Dewgong. So there's really not a lot they can do. They're going to go ahead and throw the Ice Beam, which is fine. I think I would have survived that Ice Beam and maybe been able to get off the Thunderbolt if I no-shielded, but it was a close call, so I decided to shield anyways. This is going to be a good game. They have to throw a charge move in order to win. They're going to go ahead and swap into Sandslash. I bank the charge move on Defense Form Deoxys for that clutch Psycho Boost here at the end because I kind of fiddled the middle game right there, but ultimately we're going to go ahead and overload on energy, go for a Drill Run, and Dewgong's just going to be taking this one. I have been so happy with the performance of Dewgong this season. In all of these situations you guys are seeing, some of the toughest matchups, you have Drill Run Bastion, Galarian Stunfisk, Alolan Sandslash, Lantern, Registeel. I mean, it's just so good. And then you already have that incredible core of movesets of Ice Shard and Icy Wind. So we can safely survive the play rough, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. Again, this team, oh man, this team's so good. If you guys do not have Dewgong built, please build yourself one. Good PvP IVs if you can, because it is double legacy move, so it's worth the wait. Right now, if you don't, like, for example, I have a Golisopod that I can make, but I really don't have the best PvP IVs, and what I mean by that is something I consider maybe like in the top 100 on, you can go to Ghost Stadium IV rankings and kind of look at that. So we got a Medicham here on the lead. So if it's below that, like a 570, I'll just hold off. But we have a Lickitung safe swap. So this is kind of similar to previous matchups where we need to soften up the Lickitung and then go into Umbreon here. So we're going to go ahead and swap now into the Umbreon and ensure that we win this mid-game matchup while also coming out with a good amount of energy and health, because Body Slam here is not going to be doing a lot of damage to us, and Lick is heavily resisted. Thankfully, Foul Play does a decent amount. I think I need to land 2 in order to win this mid-game matchup. Yeah, definitely going to be 2, and we should be able to overfarm a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and let the next Body Slam go through, and now I'm going to see if I can get away with getting a little bit extra energy, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Foul Play. They loaded up quite a bit. I feel like they're still like maybe 2 turns away from a Body Slam, but that's okay because now Medicham coming in is going to need to throw a charge move. If they don't and they commit to the full farm down, I'm going to get this Medicham extremely low, and it looks like they're committing to the farm down, so this is fine. We're going to get it below 50% HP, and the charge moves here on Medicham don't go anywhere when it comes to a defense form Deoxys. So we get it to 25% right there. Because, right, Psychic, Ice Punch, and Dynamic Punch really doesn't do a lot. Ice Punch totally tickles, so I'm fine with them getting a lot of energy because it wasn't going to go anywhere. And they got a bit greedy right there. They allowed me to get to the Psycho Boost in time, which might just force a shield, which it does. And now they're going to go ahead and look to go for another charge move. And this is kind of tough because I'm going to go ahead and no-shield the Ice Punch. And then we will go for another Psycho Boost. But they make a beautiful swap into Galarian Stunfisk. So, once again, we've seen Dewgong against Registeel. We are now going to see Dewgong against Galarian Stunfisk. And what you have to do is the Rock Slide does the most damage on the first one because you didn't debuff them with Icy Wind. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Icy Wind. This is going to allow Dewgong to survive longer when these Rock Slides inevitably come through right here. We're going to look to... This is tough. It's like, do you give up the shield here? But I'm going to go ahead and no-shield this Rock Slide, and as you guys can see, not that much damage. And Drill Run now is within KO range. They really need to worry, and the Medicham in the back has to watch out for the fast move damage here on Dewgong. We take out Galarian Stunfisk, easily take it out. Medicham coming in, we can safely shield this charge move, and then look to fast move down, but I swap in Defense Form Deoxys to counter down, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. Ultimately, this team was putting in some work. We got one more battle here. Again, this is a full set. No not cherry picking, but I guess to extent cherry picking, but showing you guys the best battles of the day. That's kind of how I do my content. I just put together all the best battles, wins and losses, to kind of show you what the team was capable of. But this team just went off for me on a set. So we have Alolan Sandslash once again, so I'm reading that it is going to be Medicham, but it's not. It's Defense Form Deoxys. So it could still be a Azumarill in the back, but just like the Medicham matchup, we need to soften up the Defense Form Deoxys, then come in with Umbreon. And in this case, Umbreon does super effective damage with Foul Play, which is a lot better than the Medicham matchup. So we're going to go ahead and let the Thunderbolt come through. We're going to go into our Umbreon now. And we can safely tank a charge move right here. I will go for Foul Play right away because I want to just try to force that pressure early, and then I can easily commit to the farm down. I could have potentially gotten away with waiting a bit after this Thunderbolt, maybe doing a little bit, a couple more fast moves so I have more energy on the back end, but ultimately this is fine, and they have an Altaria in the back. So it's not the team that I thought originally, which is Shadow Alolan Sandslash, Medicham, and Azumarill. It is actually going to be Altaria, which you guys can see the alignment right now. Dewgong's going to come in and lock it down, and Defense Form Deoxys is going to take out the Alolan Sandslash. So Umbreon right here is just going to keep going for foul plays. This is no big deal for us. We can safely let the charge move go through. And Umbreon, I mean, I know I've been praising Dewgong, but Umbreon has been incredible for me, and we're just going to go ahead and take that switch alignment, and that is going to be a good game as they do decide to surrender. But this team put in a lot of work for me. Very, very strong team. I was highly impressed with it. Defense Form Deoxys, Umbreon, and Dewgong going 5-0 against meta teams, and I think obviously the big highlight there was what Dewgong can do against Registeel and Galarian Stunfisk. I know early in the season we may not see it as much because people are running something more spicy, but as we get later in the season, you start to see Registeels and Galarian Stunfisks over and over and over, and it's good to see that Dewgong can handle that. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and Dewgong, and like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.